Hi, this is Dave, and before we get to the show, I wanted to ask you a favor. One of our goals this year is to grow the show so that What Does Star Wars Mean to You reaches more listeners. And that's where we're asking you for help. And it's really easy. Wherever you listen to us, please hit that subscribe button. If you're liking the show, give us a 5-star rating and review on the platform you listen to us. We make a lot of fun of the algorithm and the smash that button thing, but it really does help us get noticed by new fans. And if you want to join in on the conversation, find us on social at Star Wars Mean to You. That's Star Wars Mean, the number 2 in the letter U. Now, let's chat some Star Wars.
I am a Sith through and through. I was born and raised to root for the bad guys. My household, you could not root for the good guys. It just wasn't a thing. Decepticons are cooler. Sith are cooler. Like everyone, like bad guys are just always cooler.
Hello there. This is Dave, and I'm an original trilogy kid.
And this is Elora. I'm a prequel trilogy kid.
And welcome to What Does Star Wars Mean to You, the show where we talk to all kinds of Star Wars fans to take the hate out of the debate and look at the franchise from a certain point of view, one fan at a time.
Yeah. Our guest today is a video editor and the creator and owner of Star Wars Shot by Shot on X, also known as Twitter. Let's just call it Twitter. The handle that highlights every shot in the Star Wars saga. Shot by Shot has covered the prequels, Solo, A Star Wars Story, Rogue One, A New Hope, and The Empire Strikes Back, and is currently on Return of the Jedi. Please give a warm hello there to Robby Weidemann.
Hello there.
Hey.
Hello.
I might re-record that later.
That's fine. Whatever you gotta do.
Robby, are you ready to share with the world what does Star Wars mean to you?
I'm always ready to talk Star Wars, so that's just another day in the office.
Perfect.
Well, we like to start with 5 with the Force. This is a standard set of 5 questions we ask all our guests just to kind of get your Star Wars fandom baseline.
Sure.
Number 1, super easy. Which Star Wars movie is your go-to favorite?
So my favorite is The Empire Strikes Back, which many people don't believe. But my go-to to put on and watch is The Phantom Menace.
Nice. Wait, now why don't people believe you when you say that?
Because I am like, I eat, breathe, sleep, whatever, The Phantom Menace. I love that movie, and I talk about it more than anything in the world, probably. And when I say Empire, people are stunned.
Wow, that's hilarious.
That is hilarious. For this next one, I need to roll a D6.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your favorite bounty hunter?
Oh, that's actually a great one. It's Dirge. Yeah. Always has been, always will be.
Really? What is it about him that
I just think, like, so I was 5 years old when 2003 Clone Wars was coming out. I was the target audience. The 5-year-olds in 1980 thought Boba looked cool. Dirge looks cool. Like, that man looks cool and can't die. Like,
yeah. Solid.
Yeah, and he's obviously looks cool in the animation, but like when they draw like the realistic versions of him, he looks even better. So, and he's back in canon now, which is great. So, it's not changing. Never will.
It's so true that these favorites get really solidified when we're kids. So
yeah.
What is your favorite line to quote?
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
I am a Sith through and through. I was born and raised to root for the bad guys. My household, you could not root for the good guys. It just wasn't a thing. Decepticons are cooler. Sith are cooler. Like everyone, like bad guys are just always cooler. So, and so definitely that's my favorite one to quote, because people are like, oh, how'd you do that? Or why did you do that? Or whatever. And it's just a perfect response every time.
Yeah, I feel like Star Wars provides so many quotes for like the typical workday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could take so many different quotes from Star Wars. Just like there's a Star Wars for everybody, there's a quote for every situation.
Well, and you'll immediately know who in the room is cool and who isn't, right?
Yeah, exactly. and you'll also know like where they gravitate towards Star Wars wise. Like, oh, is that like a prequel quote or something? Like where did that come from? Get a little bit of an idea for a starting like conversation topic.
Yeah. Can you do any Star Wars impressions or impersonations?
I can't say I do, but I will always, for whatever reason, just go, bop it, like a tauntaun all the time.
Oh yes.
I like that's the only thing I'll do is a tauntaun, or I'll just like yellow teeny whenever Jawa's on screen. But
Yeah.
no impression there. But bop it. I don't know why. It's not good. I just do it randomly, and you're just saying bop it really fast.
But with that, it's such a great way of capturing that sound because I can hear the tauntaun within.
Mm-hmm.
You just go pop it, pop it.
I'm like no voice actor. I can't do voices. It's not. I can do like maybe Minecraft sound effects if I try, but like, but yeah, I don't know. I'll just do it randomly. Tauntauns are my favorite creatures, so I don't know. I just think it's a funny noise.
The tauntaun babble is one of the best Star Wars animal sounds.
It is very cute. Yeah.
It's just like a really random noise too. I don't really know what was going on when they thought of it, but I don't know.
I bet you there's a
funny
Wikipedia entry.
Oh, I'm
all
sure.
About that. Yeah.
Yes.
It's guaranteed.
And the final question with 5 with Force is, besides the movies, what is your favorite Star Wars content? This could be a TV show, a comic book, a novel, a game, really anything.
Oh, I can kind of rattle off like 3 that are kind of like 1A, B, C. I don't know. I'm gonna rattle off 3 real quick.
Yeah,
Sure.
Go for it.
So 2003 Clone Wars, the original Battlefront 2, and the Darth Plagueis book. So I'll give you one thing from different media.
Yes, that's awesome.
I'm not as familiar with that book series.
With Darth Plagueis, it's just one novel.
Yeah,
it's one novel.
Oh, okay.
It came out in like 2012, I think it was, or 2011. I think it was 2012. And it's just the whole story of Plagueis, basically, and it's my favorite book ever, period.
Oh, I'll have to add it to the list. I've been
It's
branching out into my Star Wars content into kind of like the more like the written.
Yeah, bias aside, a lot of people will recommend that towards the top of like their EU stuff. So,
oh wow,
yeah,
it's definitely it's really well written. It's a fun story.
Right on. We love a wreck.
It's part of the Legends banner where it's prior to the Disney buy, but it's still like people still kind of consider it a little bit of canon in their own circle.
I consider it canon. I look at everything as canon unless it's contradicted otherwise. That's kind of how I approach it. So I don't really have to worry about anything. I like
Yes.
I actually really like that philosophy.
It makes life so easy. It saves you so many arguments. You can like both things and just happily live your life.
Yeah, like way to just like take all of the air out of any kind of like debate or argument amongst like you know those types of fans. Like
Star Wars is Star Wars. Yeah, I like some a lot more than others. Like I will say I'm not a huge fan of the prequels, but it's still Star Wars. I'm still gonna watch it. I still got lightsabers on my screen.
Phantom Menace is still your fave.
Yeah, and Phantom Menace is still one of your go-tos.
Wait. Sorry, it's your go-to.
Yes, it's the go-to. Well, if I need to do anything to keep me busy, I'm just throwing, or like if I'm doing housework or whatever. Phantom Menace, just I'm watching Darth Maul swing lightsabers in the background.
That's so funny. We're gonna have to dig into that a little bit more.
Oh, I'll talk that. I was on a podcast once, and it was just a Phantom Menace episode. So that's a rabbit hole.
It may be a good time to ask you, what was your first introduction to Star Wars, and can you take us through that experience?
I can't take you through the experience. I have no idea. I came out the womb a fan. Like, I had no choice. My dad grew up a fan, was a diehard fan. We've insane collection back in my old house and like in his home in Jersey, and I've got to collect. Like, I had no choice. There was no escaping it. Didn't get a say in the matter. But one of my like favorite like early like this is one of the earliest stories that I've been told by him or whatever, that really kind of just is the only one I can remember because it's so like obscure. I'm 2 years older than my little sister, so I was 2 years old and my mom was going into labor, so my dad takes her off to the hospital, and my dad's parents, so my grandparents, were at home watching me until so someone was with me. And I watched The Phantom Menace 3 times in a row while my mom was in labor.
Wow.
So that's my favorite. That's like my favorite like early story. That's the only like worthwhile one that my dad's told me. But
yes.
So as a 2-year-old, I watched The Phantom Menace 3 times in a row. And one of my first words was Maul, actually, believe it or not.
In anticipation of your sister's arrival.
Oh, yes. I was getting ready. I knew what I wanted to watch when it needed to be watched.
You had some serious me time and you committed. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So your dad was super into the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Do you kind of remember how he introduced it to you, or was it really just all at once?
I don't even know if I've asked him if I got, because I was born in 98, so I'm a year after Phantom Menace. So I probably got, and knowing him, I probably got A New Hope first anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of what I chalk it up to. Like he's an originals guy. Like he likes it all. Like he used to say, yes, we have very similar philosophies to Star Wars. If it's like with the canon and like Star Wars is Star Wars, I'm gonna watch it. We've been fans our whole lives. He went through even longer periods in like the 90s. But I didn't watch Clone Wars like some of the seasons that it was airing. I watched some that aired and then some that didn't air like later on. So like there was that still gap between Revenge of the Sith and Force Awakens for me. So like we both went through our droughts. So we're like, give us it. We don't care. Doesn't matter. Sure, people are like, oh, you're just gonna consume whatever. Like, yeah, it's Star Wars. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Now,
funny.
do you remember which what was the first Star Wars you saw in the theaters?
Yeah, Attack of the Clones.
Oh, it was Attack of
okay.
the Clones.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones. I think that was also the second movie I've ever seen in the theater. The first one was Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park's my favorite movie of all time. So my dad was like, let's go take him to see the third one.
Oh, that's fun.
And I cried when the dinosaurs were on screen because I thought they were real, apparently. Happens.
Well, to be fair, I still cry when the dinosaurs are on screen.
Oh, I cry tears of joy now. But,
so would you consider the prequel trilogy to be like your trilogy?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a prequels kid. Absolutely. 100%.
So then walk us through the Empire being the favorite film, but Phantom Menace being the no, obviously. Clearly, totally agree. But then Phantom Menace being kind of the one that's put on in times of downtime, waiting for your sister's arrival or doing laundry in the house.
I mean, I guess I never really had a choice with Empire either. It's my dad's favorite. And so like it was a clear-cut number one in my household, but like it obviously has rightfully earned it in pretty much, I would say, all households, but some people will say Revenge of the Sith. My girlfriend is one of them. But yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Hayden Christensen will do a lot for a girl, don't trust me.
I was a prequel kid.
I'm sure. But Empire is just objectively it's a beautiful film. Like the carbon freezing chamber is the best set in cinema history, in my opinion. Just the Luke and the Vader, everything. I love the lessons on Dagobah. Like, I cry or or at least tear up every time the X-wing is floating in the air. Like,
and that music is playing.
Oh, gee, John Williams is just John Williamsing in the whole film. You know, I don't think I need to praise Empire. I think we all know why it would be number one. But for Phantom Menace, I don't know. It's got Darth Maul. There's pod races. Tatooine's my favorite planet. Half the film's on Tatooine. I love N1 Starfight. Like, the ships are great. The Vulture droids are sick. The droids are awesome. The droids in the Phantom, the B1 specifically, they're not. I don't like the Clone Wars ones. I'm gonna get hate for that. But I do not like the Clone Wars. Even in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, nah. I like this, like the more serious but still kind of comedic droids, and they all have different voices too. Like, I like the droids. The middle of Phantom Menace kind of drags a little bit. Everybody knows that. I don't care. But like, I don't know. At least it looks pretty on Coruscant when it's boring with the sunsets. I don't know.
So I'm hearing that you have your favorite from a story and artistic place, and then you have your favorite for like a nostalgia and
it's like
almost like a camp, like a fun place.
And that's why I hate that a lot of people hate Phantom Menace. I think that is the movie that lets your imagination go absolutely bonkers. Like, just turn your brain off. I'll die on this hill. It is Star Wars at its purest form. Like between the effects, the world building, the Jedi are at their peak. Like, it's a fun movie, and you just gotta turn off everyone's like, what's the plot? Read the crawl, it'll tell you. There it is, right there. It is right there in black and white. Stop asking me what the plot is. Turn your brain off. Watch this really fun movie that literally changed cinema forever.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, you get one of the craziest sword fights in cinema history.
It's true.
Why are you complaining?
It's for May 4th, Elora and I went to see it in theaters again.
Oh.
And it was,
If you
We
want to
drag
talk
our
about
spouses there.
Oh, if you want to
Yes.
talk about seeing it in theaters, I saw it 7 days in a row. The first 7 days it was in.
Nice.
oh,
And then I saw it an 8th time. But excellent choice. I only saw it 7 times in a row because I thought I was only in theaters for 1 week. And then on the Friday after, I was like, in for another week. I was like, oh no, I can't do this another week straight.
Number 14.
I was so amazed by, because it had been, years since I had seen it in theaters, since probably 99. And I was just so impressed by what a kind of like introduction into Star Wars it was.
Yeah.
Like, it sets up almost all the content we have since 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And it sets the stage for everything. And that's a really spectacular thing to do, to kind of be broad enough to showcase not just a world, but a universe, a galaxy of characters and events, and narrow enough to just focus in on just this one story of a boy being found by a Jedi.
What's crazy is it does it so well, weaves it all together well. Yeah, the dialogue is a little clunky, but this is George Lucas. It's clunky in all of the prequels. Like that's a thing. It's not strictly
And
a
the
Phantom
original
Menace
trilogy
thing.
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like no other film in history has had to open to the expectations mounted on that. That is the most anticipated film of all time. Literally
Yeah.
nothing in the world could have been done to meet those expectations. Like, there's it gets way too, and people are like coming around now, and like, why was this hated? It's because you didn't turn your brain off and watch it as a kid's movie, and like just you focus too much on you notice it's like a bad Amazon review. One thing was wrong, so you knock down 3 more stars and make it a 1 star because you start picking apart the entire thing to try and get your money back. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And when you get the expectations added on top of it, you're screwed from day one. You don't have a fighting chance.
You're right. It was a very impossible task, and they did a pretty damn good job.
It's absolutely true. You had mentioned that, you didn't watch the Clone Wars so much. And so there was kind of a bit of a dark times for you in the mid 2000s. How did you interact with Star Wars on a daily basis during that time? Or did you not? Did your fandom kind of go into hibernation?
I was never not a fan. I was in middle school in the beginning years of high school when it wasn't Star Wars Now. So I was like kind of shunned to myself. I wasn't thrilled with the first 2 seasons of Clone Wars like a lot of people. So I kind of just like took a break. But I still played the game. Like, oh God, I've beaten the Force Unleashed too many times. Like, I didn't really necessarily buy Legos as much around that time, but I have a lot of the original Star Wars like Lego sets back home. Like,
oh wow,
that's cool.
I have a lot of the older ones, and like those would keep me busy. I had enough. I grew up surrounded by just so much Star Wars merchandise, movies, whatever, that I was fine. But like, it definitely like just dialed back like publicly in a sense, and then just Clone Wars being the only thing on. I was like, whatever. I can wait until something happens. I was fine with The Force Unleashed.
So that probably takes us up to about The Force Awakens. What was your reaction? What was your expectations for The Force Awakens? How did you react when you first saw the trailer?
So I remembered I think I was in gym class. And I was just I watched the trailer in the middle of gym class, and my mind was I was not doing anything athletic for the rest of the day. But no, yeah, I mean, I was as hyped as everybody else with the trailers. I mean, oh man, it just awoke in the fandom, pun intended, I guess. I don't know. But No, yeah, the hype was back, and going to see it was awesome. Because now, don't quote me on it. I don't remember if my grandpa went to this one. I know I saw. This is really random, but I know I saw The Force Awakens or Solo with my grandpa. But I know going into Force Awakens, like my best friend went with me, and he's never seen a Star Wars, or he maybe has seen one, but he has no idea what's going on. He went. My dad went. My sister went. I think we got pulled out of school early for it, or it was right after school. Like,
Yeah.
I think my grandpa went because my dad was really excited that it was just all the generations of going. Like,
Yes.
so like, it was, like the crawl is back on your screen. Like, it's just, Star Wars is back where it belongs on the big screen in theaters. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like everybody else.
Was your grandfather a fan of the franchise, or was he more like supporting
He was
your dad?
So I don't know about when my dad was growing up. I guess he liked it. My grandpa doesn't pay attention to much things. My grandpa,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, what's that? All right, whatever, cool. Move on. Here's a great example of it. When we did see Solo, and it was my grandpa, and my dad was just like, my dad loves seeing the films with us at this age because he can really appreciate, like, obviously he remembers us being kids and taking us, and he remembers going with his dad and seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it really means a lot specifically to him because he's like that bridge, that sandwich thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to my grandpa's house to drop him off. And my dad was like, he was like, he was really happy, like telling us like, oh, it was great to see it with you guys. And middle of the conversation, my grandpa, now he was probably like late 70s at this point. Middle of the conversation goes, was that movie about Han Solo? Deadpan, straight face, no bullshit, just had a genuine question. So that kind of paints his picture. But
Yes.
So I can't really speak on it, but like, it's just fun. And I'm honestly sad because I've seen every single film with my dad in theaters. I saw Phantom Menace in 2012 with him. I didn't see it in 99, but I saw it in 2012 before this year. So I didn't see it with him this year, but I didn't get to see Return of the Jedi last year in theaters with him. And I haven't seen A New Hope in theaters. That's the last one I'm missing is A New Hope, but I've seen them all but Return of the Jedi in theaters with him. And I'm not going to lie. I wish I could see it with him, or I still want to see it in theaters with him. So going with the family is definitely a huge thing with my family in Star Wars.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because it sounds very much like you had a tradition of doing it. That this is
my dad and I went to every opening day for the prequels and the whole 9 yards. We've all opening day or the Thursday. Like Solo, we went to like the super early premiere. Like there was it was like 7:00 theaters wide on the Thursday, but there was a showing at 6:45 or whatever on select theaters, and we got like the dice. I have the dice hanging in my car. Like you got like the dice, a poster, and something else. So there was like a super like fan, like 15-minute or like, so you're out of the movie 15 minutes before I knew Darth Maul was in the theater 15 minutes before, or was in the movie 15 minutes before everybody else, and that was all that mattered.
That's so funny.
Now let's talk about a little bit about Shot by Shot.
Yes.
Which is a really first of all, could you explain to the audience what Shot by Shot is?
Yeah, it's a really simple concept. I post every single shot in a Star Wars movie in order. Like I go one film at a time. I don't bounce around shots. It's just and a shot is defined by every time the camera like cuts. So like
yes.
Sometimes there's long shots and there's different facial expressions in them, or like example, the beginning of Phantom Menace when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan walk in, I have a bad feeling about this. They're standing in one spot, they walk across the screen and they're looking out a window. That's still one shot, but I'll post a couple different frames from that shot to show like the movement or whatever. So I basically post 1 to 4 frames per shot in order until a film is done, and I take a couple weeks off if I don't have one prepped, and or a couple
months. You don't do this every single day?
It is a grueling process, but I
was gonna ask, how long does it take you to prepare each shot for posting?
It would.
Do you prep them all ahead of time? Do you do it as you kind of go throughout the days?
It is. It's dependent literally just on my mood.
Yeah.
It is solely just like, it could be like, do I really like this film? Do I really not like this film? Do I like this scene a lot? Do I want to finish this entire scene? How many scenes do I want to do? How many shots do I want to have done so I'm comfortable enough to post?
Right.
I refuse to start a movie until I at least have 800 done because
Oh, wow.
and because there's another reason behind that is if I do, so I normally post 40 shots a day, every 15 minutes. So it's like a 10-hour window or whatever. It's like it's 9:30 Eastern in the morning to 7:15 p.m. Eastern at night.
Wow.
The typical schedule is 40 a day, 5 days a week. I've done weekends for I did Empire was 50 a day and weekends. I'm also doing weekends for Return of the Jedi because I'm just kind of I'm just kind of messing around at this point.
It's seeing what.
Yeah, I'm just kind of seeing what, like, if I know people are more active on weekends, but I want to see like if it's worth my time not having any days off for it. So I'm doing, and I knew Empire is Empire. It's a really big popular one, and I was cranking out 50 a day. But I'm trying to do, I'm testing Jedi at 40 a day, like the normal 40 a day with the weekends. So, but normally, so the number 800 comes from 40 a day, 5 days a week. 1 month is 800 shots, more or less.
Okay.
So I like to try and get I like to try and be a month ahead. That is never the case. Half the time, sometimes I'm live. There have been times, I don't know if it was solo. It was solo. I was live cutting the shots the night before, towards the end of the film.
Gosh.
What inspired you to start this project?
So I love Breaking Bad, and there's an account called Breaking Frames. And they post every frame of Breaking. Now they're doing Better Call Saul, but they posted every frame of Breaking Bad. And when I thought of the concept for shot by shot, I was like, I could do that. But I am not a coder programmer. I don't know anything about bots. This is all manual, man-made stuff. So I'm like, well, I know how I can export all these frames. That's not a problem. Like, I can get the frames, and I can probably just, figure out. I know enough people that I could maybe like find someone who could code me a bot or something. So I'm like, let me look into it. Yeah. And I asked, do you know who Chloe Lightsaber Queen is on Twitter?
No.
Okay. I asked Chloe, she's on Twitter, on Star Wars Twitter, but she went to school for like a really fancy kind of engineering. Like, she's really smart. I don't know. I'm an editor. I stay away from that.
She got one of those fancy degrees.
She's smart. She knows numbers. She likes numbers. So I was like, can you crunch some numbers for me? And I gave her the runtime and the frames per second of Phantom Menace. And she figured out how many frames there were. And I was like, how many do I need to post in a day? Or to get it done in this time period. And it was literally impossible numbers. Because at the time, I didn't realize Breaking Frames was a 1 frame per second episode of Breaking Bad, not 24. I didn't factor that in. So that was my mistake.
I see. Yeah.
So I didn't factor that in. I'm doing the numbers on 24. I'm like, I can't do this. I go, but I really I'm an editor. I really love cinematography and stuff. I don't like being a cameraman by any means. I hate it. But I love art and everything. I love appreciating it. So I'm like, maybe what if I do every shot? And one of my coworkers came up with the name Shot by Shot because I was trying to think of, and it was perfect. I was like, I need something to tell, I don't know.
What does Star Wars mean to you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
What it says is what it is.
Exactly. So that they came up with the name. I started doing it, and I exported it, and the original process was actually way harder, or not harder, but way more grueling than the current process.
There was a learning curve. Yeah.
No, it wasn't even a learning. It was like, and when I'm telling you, the workfrow is.
Oh no! So that's what I meant. Like, it was, You can kind of find that rhythm. Yeah.
No, but not even find the rhythm. I'm talking like, for Rogue One, I changed the entire way I get shots.
Oh.
So like the old way I got shots was even harder than what I do now. And longer.
Oh, okay.
I've completely overhauled it at this point. Like the whole.
Is it something that's automated, or is it something that you just go by hand and shot by shot?
First, originally the formula was I would export the frame or the film into still frames, and I would set a every 4th frame or every 3rd frame. Yeah, so I didn't have to go through every single one. But obviously that I can't get the most perfect shot sometimes out of that. So And it was a process of, I'm going through an entire folder of 54,000 images. I have to delete the ones I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I keep the one I want.
Yes.
Relabel that one. Manually label every single one that follows it. And make sure I don't skip a number.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah,
I also had to factor in the A, B's, and C's for when there's 1, 2, 3 frames. Or 4 frames. Like, you know, there's more frames.
Wow.
So yeah, the first process sucked.
Yeah.
Now my old roommate has basically, he helped me set it up when we have programmed everything to a stream deck, and I use a program called I think it's called Mad VR, and it auto tone maps the colors, so it plays it in the standard def colors, but it also color corrects it, so the colors are a little bit better and whatnot. So the one problem with that is it exports with letterboxes, and it's about 1.5 stops underexposed. So now it just makes it a little darker. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's just how the program works with the tone mapping, and I guess coming from HDR, it's playing a factor into the darkness of it. So now the program is, I have a bunch of hotkeys on a stream deck in Mad VR to cycle through everything and save the images.
Wow.
And then I put those images through an automatic batch in Photoshop to crop the boxes and brighten the shots.
Oh, okay.
So
wow,
it's a hell of a lot easier, but it's still a hell of a lot of work.
It's so much work. I don't know if people realize.
If I had to put a number on it, it's, I would say at minimum like 20 to 25 hours per film. Sometimes more, maybe a little less if I get lucky. Depends on the mood I'm in. Depends on. Yeah. But yeah, it's, I would say a comfortable range to ballpark it is 20, 25 hours.
Wow. And it's a lot of meticulous work.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Some people ask me to help, and I'm like, no, I don't want it to get screwed up. I only trust my eye. I don't mean to sound like some kind of egomaniac, but like,
no, it's your baby.
Like, it's my baby at this point. I'm like, you're not gonna get there's certain things I look for. Everything has to be as crisp as possible, and there are judgment calls that have to be made. And also, you just gotta know that fan base. You have to know what are the meme shots, like what can make I've like unintentionally come up with so many reaction meme templates just because I know like what people look for. I know who people love. You gotta know it's a whole. It's way more than I asked for, but it's fun. It was a passion project. It still is, and I started it so people didn't have to because people on Twitter like to post their 4-image collages, and sometimes it's hard to find those images on Google or the specific ones, and sometimes the quality isn't great, or you have to go get a really bad screenshot yourself by trying to press pause at the right time and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
So why take all that out?
That's one of the things I really liked about Shot by Shot, that it felt like the movie was playing within my feed throughout.
Yeah, a lot of people like that. They think it's like watching the film for in a new way. Whole, for the whole first time, and it kind of is. It's kind of developed a community. It's a safe space. I can't wait for the prequel people. I'm gonna be like, or the sequel people that don't like the sequels, that I get to just just rag on them. Like, I'll block people if I have to. I'll block people with Shot by Shot. I don't care. Yeah. It's a safe space. Yeah. Like sequel fans, the sequel fans waited just as long, or longer than anyone has waited. For their film to come on. Let them have their time. If you don't like it, unfollow. People unfollow in like times of like when I'm not posting, or people unfollow for films they don't like, and I don't care. You'll come back if you want to see a film. It doesn't matter. It's not for followers. It's for you to have the photos. So it's no sweat off my back.
Yeah.
What is one of the most surprising things you've learned about the fandom through this process?
Mm-hmm.
I've learned the fandom likes some really, really random niche shots. I'll tell you that. I'm really blanking and can't think of off the top of my head what, but I've learned that there is a fan base for literally every character. I'll tell you that much. Like,
oh yes,
Attack of the Clones, Clique Lars Nation apparently is a thing and came out in full force, and it was crazy. Like,
Wow.
just like there's literally any like
Or-
Jedi Rocks is
Roars.
posting right now. All of Max Rebo's band
Yes.
people are going nuts. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what member either. They're all getting like Bib Fortuna the other day. I'm sorry I'm dating this podcast by saying what
No,
Shot by
that's
Shot
okay.
posts.
No, it's
But
No,
like, Bib
it's totally
Fortuna
fine.
posted the other day, and like, yeah, like he's an iconic character, but people like this. Everyone has their inside jokes and like
Yes.
their own experiences and memories and weird facts about all of these characters and just the sets and
Yeah.
like it's so cool to see them all collectively. Like I don't know I know their profile picture off the top of my head, but I don't know like necessarily the names or whatever. But I could point out to you, like if you showed me a list of Shot by Shot's followers and I scrolled through and point out the profile picture, I go, these 5 people are going to comment you every single line from the
Wow.
movies on each shot. They're going to be your guide. Like these 3 people are going to have every single random fact about that set. Like
That's so cool.
the community is
Yeah.
crazy. And I love that it's a safe space. Like no one's really like rude. Everyone will comment their comment, whatever they want about that shot,
Yeah.
and people will jump on them in the sense that they'll piggyback off of it and share something that they can relate to with it,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it's just they just leave it at their own I try and keep it as positive as possible while also keeping it it's a neutral account.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, to change subjects
No,
really
go
quick.
ahead.
Because you're an editor.
Yeah.
In your professional life. What has this process taught you about your own craft and work? What have you been learning from dissecting the films in this way that you're bringing to what you love to do in your own life?
Like from the get-go, from Phantom Menace sorting, I have like this is a passion project. So it's not meant to have followers. It's meant for people to have photos. But on top of me having like me creating myself my own library of these stills,
Yeah.
I get to study these shots. I get to
Yeah.
study the composition, the pacing.
Yeah.
I learn a lot about the pacing. And I really just love I love art. I have just art all over my walls in my house. I have movie posters covering my living room, like the 27 by 40 is like, I love art. And I just get to sit there and just like, what makes this shot? What did they do?
Has doing Shot by Shot changed your opinion of the movies or the saga at all?
I will say for whatever reason, when I grew up, I don't know, maybe it's just because I was younger. I never thought the prequels looked good in a sense. I thought they looked fine in terms of CGI, whatever. Yeah, it looks a little dated sometimes. I just never thought they had like any cool shots. I never like that I've seen other blockbusters. I don't know what possessed me to think that. Where I got that thought from, I don't know what. I don't know if it was like some kind of like outside opinion during the because I grew up during the prequels were hated times. I don't know if it was that, but I'm like they're damn gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like they're awesome. So like it has like I have definitely appreciated the beauty of different films. There have also been times where I'm like, oh man, there's really nothing in this film like color wise. Like the color palette is kind of meh. But like but they all kind of have a meh color palette for like half the movie. Like pretty much all of them.
Oh, something I noticed immediately following your account is obviously the films are it's art. Like there's not a single scene that doesn't have just, amazing composition, great cost, all of it.
Yeah, everything gets overlooked until you put it in shot by shot form.
But when you put it in shot by shot, there's moments that I'm like, oh, I don't think I noticed those details before, or or that was an interesting perspective there that like and choice, but like also there's not a single shot where I wouldn't have seen it in like an art walk or something and been like, oh, that's really good Star Wars artwork. Like, but it's the film.
Yeah.
So there's like all these really underappreciated moments that like that get shared, and I don't know what my point to this is other than to just say that, like I agree.
I know where you're going because that's one of my favorite things about it. Every shot gets its 15 minutes of fame.
Exactly.
Every single shot.
Yeah, literally.
Yep. Literally every single shot gets its 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I get every single day.
Yeah.
I never noticed that, or
Yeah.
someone finds something new every single day because of shot by shot. I'm not saying I did anything. I just posted it for you in like a more focused.
Yeah, you said you're a neutral space.
Yeah, like I didn't like.
Yes.
It's just in a more like neutral way, like a focused area to look at it. But that's all I did. But like, I'm glad that I can like expand. Like people just learn stuff every day, and it's so cool to just see it happen in real time.
It's a pretty cool passion project to slow it down and create an environment where people can pause and reflect in a way that they probably wouldn't have, otherwise. Yeah.
One of the things I really love about it too is that when you see the shot, how it forces you to kind of relive the movie in a new way, in the sense that when you're watching the movie, like watching the movie on your TV in the background while cleaning, is one way of experiencing it. Because that's what I do too. It's like a lot of these movies are now a little bit background movies.
Yeah.
This is what I...
It's comfort.
Or going to the theater and being forced to watch it without distraction, which we kind of just did with Phantom Menace, which is a lot of fun. And in this way, both of those are a little bit passive where you let the movie wash over you. But shot by shot, you're kind of forced to bring the elements to the movies as well as like the dialogue and the music and the movement of the camera, even though you just have these 1 to 4 frames to inspire that within you, it really does. And it kind of like, it's every time I'm scrolling through, I'm surprised at how much of the movie just comes back at me because it's all in my head.
Yeah. And it's I mean, it helps that like you've seen the movie a zillion times, but like, there are times like I really try and go out of my way specifically with dialogue and specifically when there's that classic, like just, back and forth kind of cutting, like a conversation kind of cutting. But I'll also try and put like emphasis on certain words. Like I just cut yesterday the beginning of the speeder bike chase. And when Luke goes, "Wait, Leia," like as she's running off to the speeder bike, I want Luke's mouth open kind of ridiculously.
Yes.
Yeah, the shot might look funny, but you're going to know he's saying, wait,
wait.
Like you're recognizing like why is he shouting in that moment, and you're going to know.
Yes.
And especially when it's a back and forth conversation, that's not a great example for a back and forth conversation. But like when it's a back and forth conversation, you need those points and those breaks to know when those iconic lines are.
Totally.
Yes. What are the top 3 elements that make Star Wars to you?
Oh, so I will always first and foremost, and I could even list this off for all 3. I'm not going to. Hope. Hope is number 1.
Yeah.
That is the number 1 thing in Star Wars. Number 2 is a very close second of found family. And number 3, this one is kind of not as core as 1 and 2. I kind of have like either you need to have some kind of imagination or that from a certain point of view element incorporated. Like the story from 2 sides is a fun. I love that approach to it. But also just just imagination. Just let things be weird, have fun, be a kid. This is your chance to escape. Go be a 5-year-old for 45 minutes and 2 hours.
What's one of your favorite weird things that make you feel like a kid within any of the movies?
It's Darth Maul showing up on screen.
Yeah.
Just seeing that
double lightsaber,
that double
igniting.
blade open up.
Very
It doesn't matter how many times or how cliche it is. I have the stupidest freaking grin on my
feet in the
face.
chair. Yeah.
I sit up like I'm gonna stand. My girlfriend makes fun of me. She made fun of me both times she saw it with me in theaters. She only saw it twice. She didn't go 8 times. She only saw it twice.
No, there's boundaries. No.
She made like
Totally kidding.
honestly, and just like anything, well, it's just I guess stupid Phantom Menace. Yeah, it's got to be anything Phantom Menace related, but it's definitely just Darth Maul opening those lightsabers is just
Hilarious.
the cream of the crop.
We love that.
I don't have Darth Maul tatted for no reason.
Where's your tattoo?
I have him here, but he's actually holding the Darksaber. I don't really know how to.
Oh, okay.
He's holding the Darksaber. It's the Son of Dathomir, the trade paperback comic cover.
God,
But I did swap out Rookcast for some probe droids from Phantom Menace. Just
It's close to wrapping up here. What is your favorite Star Wars memory? Like involving Star Wars?
honestly, it's got to be some kind of variation of going to the films. But if I had to pick one, I'm probably gonna go with that Solo story I explained.
Yeah.
Like just like I don't know, you can't make that one up. I don't know where he got it from or what he was watching in the entire film, but just seeing Solo with my dad, not my mom. My mom is not a big Star Wars fan. She's just like whatever. But my mom, God, I keep saying my mom, my dad, my sister, 4 of us in a row, opening night, 15 minutes before everybody else in the world. It was. That was it.
What did you think of the reveal of Darth Maul at the end of Solo?
Oh my goodness! Holy crap! Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gone crazier in a theater.
Yeah.
Genuinely. I was so lucky to not get that spoiled. I got Hans died spoiling, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Going 15 minutes early really saved me there. But yeah, no, I basically shit my pants basically. Holy crap. I was like, give me the sequel right now. Like that, yeah, I couldn't put it to words. I was dumbfounded, jaw was on the floor, like just wow. Well, that's how you win me over.
How jealous are we that all of the kids today have so many hours of Star Wars content before the next new things come out that they could never possibly be in the same level of like that waiting period that we all were for
they couldn't fathom it. Like I remember I grew up when I was waiting for Revenge of the Sith to come out. Yeah. I was alive when there was a time where it was just 3 originals for one whole year, but like I remember just waiting for Revenge of the Sith, like the Clone Wars 2003. Those 5-minute episodes barely kept me alive for those 2 years, but they care. Oh God bless their backs. They did some carrying. But yeah, no, I to be a kid nowadays,
spoiled. They don't even know it.
Not a clue. And I considered myself spoiled compared to my dad.
Oh yeah, Dave's sitting here like, y'all don't even know.
Yeah, like the only original fans, the only thing they had on us, if anything, was the merchandise. They had any and everything. That's about it. That's about all they had.
It's true. Until 1986, when there was really nothing,
and then it just hit Ghost Town.
I can list on one hand about the different type of, like, maybe a video game, maybe a role-playing game, and then it wasn't until Thrawn in 91 or 92. So we've talked about your journey with Star Wars, seeing the movie with your family, which sounds like just a great tradition. You know, talking about shot by shot and how you came to do that. Oh, your love for the Sith. I can't overlook that.
Oh, yes.
Having kind of talked all about this in the past hour, can you say, what does Star Wars mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it ties back to those 3 things that I had mentioned earlier, but it ties back to hope. That's all it is.
Yeah.
First and foremost, you know, at the very least, it's something you can escape to when times are down. Like if you're having a bad day or you need to leave reality for 2 hours, go throw on literally there's Star Wars for everybody now. Throw on something.
So true.
Give yourself a brighter story to brighten up or to just take you away from what you're going through at the moment. And that's what Star Wars is at its basic level of hope. But like the stories I actually tell, and I mean, I wouldn't be editing today or pursuing this career if I didn't fall in love with, you know, Star Wars, the special effects, and watching the behind the scenes documentaries as a little kid because I couldn't get enough Star Wars. I didn't have enough content, so I watched behind the scenes documentaries and I fell in love with filmmaking.
Yeah.
So I mean, at its peak, you could be hope for a future in the sense of like you could do something that you want to do for yourself. Like you don't know what you want to do, and all of a sudden, and now I know where I'm going. Like, or I have my goals set out. I do want to eventually work for Lucasfilm and to be able to then create those stories for that next generation of kids, give someone else hope. You know, it's just it's something that it just gives a bright beacon, whether it be just as a distraction or the stories they're telling, the messages they're trying to send. It's just a positive outlook from, at the end of the day, that the smaller and the good guys, you know, if you do it right and your heart is right in the right spot, you'll achieve what you want to achieve, and you will get there. It might not be as quick as you want to, or as, you know, the way you want to, but you just keep sight of what you want, and you'll achieve it. You'll blow up that Death Star.
That's really beautiful. I kind of love, and I don't want you to. I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I love at the top of the conversation we were talking about rooting for the bad guy, and at the end when it comes down to what does it mean to you, some of it is that the good guys win, and
yeah. I mean, you know, that's
I love
what
that.
It is.
Yeah,
I love that.
Unfortunately, we don't always get the fun endings for the bad guys. Yeah. It is what it is, you know. At least we look cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it too when I hear about how Star Wars is like giving someone their vocation. I think that's always really powerful. Yeah.
It's done way more than I ever expected out of the womb for it, but you know,
sure.
But here we are.
Yeah, we made it. I guess we're doing something.
Yeah, something went right.
Yes, I guess I'm still here.
So we'll have all your handles and links in the podcast notes, but can you tell everyone where they can find you, Robby?
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on most social medias, but I'm really only ever doing anything on Twitter. I kind of am on there too much, but I'm on there, and that's where you're gonna find me. If anything, I would prefer people follow Shot by Shot. You know, it's just it's a treat for you. I'm doing this for everybody. I want people to have these photos. I'm tired of seeing really crappy quality image Star Wars shots on my timeline. Get it off my timeline. Like I'm not looking for credit. If you want to credit Shot by Shot, cool, go ahead. Just put nice images on the timeline. And different ones you haven't seen before. We've all seen Vader in a hallway. Put something else up. Put Vader in a hallway killing someone that we haven't seen a different shot of, you know?
So funny.
Like, I don't know. But yeah, you can follow Shot by Shot at SW Shot by Shot. I guess, do I have to spell it out? I don't know.
No.
Yeah, we'll put it in the episode notes.
Okay. And then I'm also at Robby_Weidemann. But yeah, if I talk too much and my hot takes are too hot, just go follow Shot by Shot and at least come. At least that's neutral.
Well, Robby, thank you so much for sharing what does Star Wars mean to you. We really appreciate this. I love talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
This is really fun.
No, it's been great. Thank you for having me ramble on and on about Star Wars, because it does mean a lot to me.
Yeah, that's what we do.
As it should. And may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Go dark side.
Oh, something I noticed immediately following your account is, I mean, I think, oh gosh, sorry, my cats are fighting. We're gonna cut that out. So sorry.
okay.
This is a common occurrence on What Does Star Wars Mean to You?
That's
Every now and
okay.
then they interrupt and we have to cut
They
that
gotta
out.
make it known they're here.
Yes.
Yes.
What I was gonna say is something I noticed following your account has been, obviously the films are it's art. Like there's not a single scene that doesn't have just, amazing composition, great costume, all of it.
Yeah, everything gets overlooked until you put it in shot-by-shot form.
But when you
Hi, this is Dave, and before we get to the show, I wanted to ask you a favor. One of our goals this year is to grow the show so that What Does Star Wars Mean to You reaches more listeners. And that's where we're asking you for help. And it's really easy. Wherever you listen to us, please hit that subscribe button. If you're liking the show, give us a 5-star rating and review on the platform you listen to us. We make a lot of fun of the algorithm and the smash that button thing, but it really does help us get noticed by new fans. And if you want to join in on the conversation, find us on social at Star Wars Mean to You. That's Star Wars Mean, the number 2 in the letter U. Now, let's chat some Star Wars.